Good evening, UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. This is your Welcome in a Wolf 10. I'm your werewolf. We are here today with the Gladiator of Kaon, Matthew Flynn.
Welcome, Autobots and Decepticons. My name is Matthew Flynn, the Gladiator of Kaon, and today we're talking about mech anime, specifically super robots and real robots. And I think I should start by explaining the difference. Super
Before you
robots.
do,
Oh, yeah.
before you do, this is going to be a special time together. It's just me and Matthew. And definitely going to be discussing the difference between the two. Definitely going to be talking about our favorite real robots and our super robots and why they appeal to us the most, of course. But like you said, Matthew, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one because I don't even know where to begin to start.
Yeah, so start with super robots because they technically came first. They would be like something like Mazinger or Get a Robo or Brave Rydeen. Like they're like one-off creations that have like essentially some form of superpowers, kind of like superheroes, which is why they're called super robots. And most of the time or sometimes they're sentient and sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're just made of like a special metal or have some kind of special origin. And also they tend to fight like monsters. They tend to be in stories of Monster of the Week, and also most super robots are from the 70s because that's the era where they came from. And that's the era where most super robots were made. And it wasn't until Gundam came around that real robots were then like more shows of real robots were made. And I bring up Gundam specifically because that's the series that actually invented the idea of real robots. And I will now explain. I'll explain real robots, and essentially, there's nothing special about them. They are more advanced than other mechs that are like because it's more normally a war setting. So the mech in question will be nothing more than a tank or just another machine of war. And this does tend to be like more advanced mechs within like the whatever conflict's going on. But most of the time, they never actually go into like superpowers. They tend to be just standard machines, like using like giant weapons or a giant beam saber in the case of Gundam. And obviously, you do have other real robots like Macross and what was the other one? Oh yeah, and you also have you'll also have something along the lines of like a nightmare frame from Code Geass, or
Orbital frame from Zone of the Enders.
yeah, I suppose
The
you
Metal
do also
Gear
get.
franchise.
Oh yeah, yeah, you do also get some anime that will have like won't lean too far in either. Like it may start in more of a super robot vein, but then evolve into no, sorry, not start in a real robot setting, but kind of evolve into a super robot type situation, which is what something like Space Runaway Ideon does. Whereas that starts out as a very conventional weapon of war, and then it eventually, by the end of the show, becomes like a super cosmic, like cosmically powerful machine that can alter reality. And
Nice.
ironic enough, the Ideon, the show itself, is created by Yoki God damn it, why am I fudging on the name? Tomino, who made Gundam, also made Ideon. In fact, there's a couple other mech shows that Tomino made, like Aura Battle of Dungbean, which is kind of a strange one. It's kind of set in modern times, but in an alternate fantasy reality where they have beetle shaped mechs. And also another difference is that they tend to have two different tones as well. Like super robots tend to be a little more light-hearted and silly, and real robots tend to be more serious and dramatic because obviously most tend to center around a war. Although there are instances of them swapping, like with the Big O, where that's a real robot show. No, not real robot. Where the Big O is like a super robot show, but it takes itself very seriously. It's not comedic at all. And I'm pretty sure there was a real robot show from the 80s that didn't take itself seriously whatsoever. Although I have forgotten what it was called. I might be able to find that. I'm kind of curious which specific mech animes like you fall on, whether it's Super Robot or Real Robot.
Full disclaimer, guys. If you can't tell with my voice, I am very tired from work, so I'm trying to sip as much caffeine into my body through Coke to stay awake for this. That's why I'm more subdued wolf today. It's not easy being a custodian for two buildings,
Yeah,
and the two buildings doesn't have elevators. But one thing I would say about the super robots, definitely, yeah, you're right. They do tend to get silly. Though I will argue that there's some that do get serious too when they need to. Just they tend to balance the lightheartedness with the seriousness to it, much like Voltron was originally, where there were moments where you had the mice that had their own little mouse Voltron at one point, and
yeah,
then there was often a scene where the Robies had ate a human whole like a giant would before Attack on Titan was doing that in droves.
yeah. Okay, interesting.
As far as the real robot stuff, I can't for the life of me find a real robot anime where it was lighthearted in my databanks via my brain.
Yeah,
Think the one that
I know for a fact one does exist. I just don't remember the name.
I mean we don't really count SD Gundam because those are
Yeah,
sentient Gundam sprites, spirit defenders mostly. If for those who probably didn't know what SD means, spirit defenders, that's what they're called. But let's get
oh,
into
here
it.
here it is. It's Set Seto Mecha Zeng Bungle. I'm probably not pronouncing
Mm.
that correctly at all, but
Oh, there was Duel where majority of the mech pilots are female, and they inducted their first male pilot into this kind of a G Gundam style duel type of setting, and it's
yeah,
of course it's taking place in a school, so of course it's going to be lighthearted. It's the only one I can remember. The only thing I can think of right now that was a real robot where it was lighthearted and not necessarily a war. Plus, the mech
yeah,
had despite it having a masculine body type, it had high heels in its design, which was interesting.
yeah,
I would say Jinky Extend, but Jinky Extend is freaking dark as hell,
yeah. No,
especially
I
especially when it's
I think
involving
I have an
children
idea of
piloting giant
which
mechs.
specific mech anime or real robot mech anime you're going to talk about.
You have an idea?
Yeah, I have an idea of what real robot you're going to talk about.
I was going to talk about Pacific Rim. I kid. Yeah, since you bring up Big O, I think that bears explanation. Big O has a place in my heart despite its confusing ending at the end.
Yeah,
Fizz
okay.
Chozo brings up Darling in the Franks.
Ah,
Sorry, I got
yes.
distracted by the comment.
The mech
He brought
anime that runs on doggy style, or is piloted by dog style, whichever it is.
Simulations, doggy style. I still have yet to watch that anime. I want to too. It's available on free sites,
Yeah,
and
there's
I
also a
definitely want
manga
to dig
as
into it.
well.
Of course, there's a manga.
Actually,
These days,
it might have been based on the manga. Now I think about it.
yeah, these days most anime that you see is based around a manga, not like in the back in the days where they were definitely an anime, but either they didn't have a manga or they just had a oh, he said Hybrid X Heart. Never heard of that one, but I definitely remember
Hmm.
Darling the Franks.
Yeah,
But
it's
no,
a Studio
back,
Trigger, isn't it?
yeah. What I was gonna say was Big O definitely holds a special place in my heart due to his genre mixing in on that front. It's got as we like
Yeah,
to call it Batman with mechs. Usually the investigation starts first and then we get into mech battles and kaiju fights too. Let's not forget that they also have mechanized kaiju in that anime. But
yeah,
definitely, one thing I love about the design of Big O is his arms, or at least the Deuce's arms. Each Deuce arms, Mecha Deuce. I mean, that's what they're called, Mecha
yeah,
Deuce. Their arms are ape like, very ape like, being ginormous in proportion to their head and their body. Each one had their own little arm attack module, which you want to call it. Big O with his, as I like to call it, piston fists. Big Foe with his what did Big Foe had? It's saws. It's is kind of like a wrist drill, I believe.
yeah,
And Big Foul with it with his with his its propeller hands. It can fly. It was the one that was mostly aerial based. I think Big Foul was meant to be sort of a construction bot. I can't for the life of me like figure out what Big O was. So I like my head can. Well, every time when I think of those giant mechs, I have to have a head can. I tend to head can that they were originally were probably industrial bots before became weaponized.
yeah.
We have Leia Plus Size with us, the lovely Leia Valor.
Good evening, fellas. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
You can lighten this whole stream up because I am tired, and
Oh,
Matthew's more British in his own way, and
Yeah,
I think we're dragging this stream down a bit. But unfortunately, Leia, you haven't watched any giant robots or let alone a mech anime at all.
oh, this is I. That's what I should have. I have not, so I don't know how much help I'm going to be to you because when you said when I looked at the topic, it said robots versus real robots. I wasn't clear on what exactly what you were covering. So I will do what
Don't
I
worry,
can.
don't worry. We'll be talking about American-made robot movies too.
Okay, so
yeah,
Not ne- not necessarily the Terminator variety, but we did make no mistake. We did have giant robot movies over here in the states.
yeah. Like robot jocks.
I was about to bring that up.
so you're covering the topic is robots.
Yes,
Technically,
exactly.
just these big fuck all robots that can do just about
Yeah,
any damn thing. They're almost like their arsenal is that of equal times to a atomic bomb. They're basically
yeah.
revered in most stories. They're revered as gods, even though they're mechanized gods. Another time, they're oh, speaking of lighthearted, real robot, the gunman from Gurren Lagann.
Oh yeah. There's another thing I might have already
Even
mentioned
though
this,
even
but
though people die in
when it comes to
that show.
super robots, another thing I noticed is by the end of the shows, if it's super robot, they tend to be like absurdly powerful and have like cosmic reality morphing powers or something similar.
Yeah, since you want to bring that one up, go ahead. Well, actually, you know what? No, I take that back. Leia, this is your cup of tea because we definitely gonna be talking about Voltron.
Okay, I can make some Voltron comments in there.
Yeah.
But first, we're still covering Big O right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, why don't you go ahead and finish, and when you get into the Voltron, and then another giant robot I want to talk about, but all of you are probably too young to even remember. So
Try
I'll
us.
just okay.
Yeah.
I'll try you with that. And we'll see,
You
and
might
we'll go
win.
from there.
I don't know what
Oh,
prize you're gonna win, but you might win.
okay. Okay,
But
I'll see what I can handle.
when it came down to the Mecha Deuce, one thing that was very intriguing to me is when you board a Mecha Deuce, if you were the runner of the Mecha Deuce, um there was always this line that comes across the screen. There's this big circular screen in front of you, and the line says, "Cast thy name in God, yea." If you're a good person, yea, not guilty. If you're not the person to pilot that Mecha Deuce, it says, "Yea, guilty." And there's a rare instance where you ever got that line, "Yea, not yea, guilty," which was I would say that it happened sometime later in the series where somebody was forcing the Mechaduce to continue to move, but it said yay guilty, and it took him away to essentially heaven, and you never saw that character again. Like the Mechaduce tends to eat its pilot alive with cables and stuff. It devours its own pilot if your intentions are not as what the Mechaduce intends for. I believe. Well, it's on that in that regard. It's very hard to explain that front. Sometimes I sometimes I still view that moment as a cop out in a way for the hero to win that fight, kind of like a Deus ex machina, so to speak. But that was one intriguing thing about that one. It's like even though it was like mechanized, the controls look very stylistic, like the retrofuturism style to it, because definitely Paradigm City has this retrofuturism thing going on where everybody's wearing what could be counted as the 1950s 60s style, kind of like
Yeah.
Superman slasher films. You have Roger Smith, the main character, looking like essentially Bruce Wayne in an all black suit, driving a long black car, which is obviously where it's wearing this influence on the Batman front. He even has his own Alfred Hey rep, by the way. But they also have their own Batgirl, as in R Dorothy. Yes, letter R Dorothy. Don't ask me what the R
Yeah.
stands for, because
You know, I think
I
I'm gonna have to
can.
watch the Big O because I've not seen that one.
Dude, where have you been? That show been out for how long?
Okay, there's multiple different mech series I haven't really got the time or haven't really
Not even
taken the
Gasaraki.
opportunity to watch.
There's also Gasaraki. I still have to complete that one. I barely went through 2 3 episodes of that one, and that's not only because not because there's something wrong with that anime. It's just there's some anime that I have to go back to check out for any future streams I want to do to talk about them. But definitely
Yeah.
check out Gasaraki. Gasaraki is quite interesting too, and that one is almost like a Middle Eastern Gundam type show where the mechs look like walking tanks.
Yeah.
And
Wait, when you say
oh
walking tanks, do you mean like Western mechs where they tend to be more tank looking,
yeah,
or do you mean? Because that's one thing I've noticed about American and Japanese mechs is Japanese mechs tend to be more humanoid looking, and then American mechs tend to be more tank looking and more like militaristic and practical, or
hmm
kind of practical for a mech at least.
the Gasaraki mechs in that one, they tend to move a bit slow. If you ever seen the trailer to Gasaraki, they move in this very clunky Mega Man ish style run in a way when they run, and that's what
Yeah.
intrigued me about that one, because like half the time when you see other mech shows, either two things happen with the mobility with the mech. Sorry, three things. Either A, they're weightless. B, they have boosters. Or C, they have more boosters that propel them somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
whereas the Gasaraki mech tanks, as I like to call them, they're actually running, but they're running like they're like I said, they're running like they're stop motion toys at least, which I like. So I'm gonna revisit that one to really get a feel for that one. There's also the mechs in Blue Gender, which they use wheels to move, not necessarily walk on their own. Same thing with the
Yeah.
Nightmares, which also use wheels, but they still move. They still walk.
Yeah, because the wheels on the side they're retractable or they flip
Hmm.
up behind them.
And they use cables like Spider-Man cables.
Yeah, I suppose they were
That
kind of like those those shoes that you could buy that have a wheel in the back of them at the bottom. I forgot what those are called. What those kind of shoes are called. I suppose there's a mech
Heelys,
version of that.
Heelys. Talking about
Yeah,
Heelys,
that's it.
right? Viz, we did mention Metal Gear earlier. Well, I blurred it out.
Yeah,
Walking tanks, yeah, definitely. Metal Gear counts as that. Walking tanks.
yeah,
We're
both
not really gonna go into. No, no, I'm not
both
gonna
the
go
Rex
too
and the
deep into
Ray
Metal
count
Gear.
as mechs.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm not gonna go in too deep with Metal Gear per se. As much as know, it's like even though you know Metal Gear, you don't know Metal Gear. Like you're still learning Metal Gear. You're still knowing Metal Gear. You're still unpacking Metal Gear, and even then, it's up to your interpretation.
Yeah,
Final, shouldn't you be with us since you in the chat? I'm pretty sure you've seen a few mech anime. The walking takes from Star Wars, the AT-ATs and STs, and any variation, those are not mechs, but they technically are walking tanks. I mean, could you count them as mechs, Matthew? Would you count them as mechs?
you might be able to get away with calling them mechs because they are giant robots being piloted by being piloted.
You can
Anyway,
jump in
Star
if you
Wars
want.
there is technically mechs in Star Wars already. Well, not Star Wars itself, but like in Star Wars through way of one of the Transformers universes. Because
Armored Trooper Bottoms.
oh yeah, that was
Regis
another
with
one I was going. Oh, that's another one I was going to mention. Armored Trooper of Atoms, Photons, however you say that.
I was going to bring up the Vonzers from Front Mission for Real Robots and Armored Core,
Yeah.
the game, the game series. If you ever played those games, Armored Core.
Uh, no, I haven't. I've played one of the Front Mission games. I think it was Front Mission Evolved.
Oh, you poor soul. That was the worst entry.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Although considering that was the only one I played, it's kind of understandable that I don't have any
Well,
perspective on the
the problem
quality.
with that one was the fact that they turned it into Armored Core, and it was horrible, horribly played. The thing is that the Front Mission series is more of a tactical RPG series in the same vein as Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics, and you can
Okay.
position them. But the kicker with the hey Bromando, the kicker with Front Mission though is that when it comes, they really pull out the stops with the whole tactical angle of the RPG. Whereas, okay, they didn't do this in the Super Nintendo one because it started with Super Nintendo, the first Front Mission. But in the PS2 one, depending on what type of build your Vonzer is built as, you can target a part of an enemy's Vonzer, and depending on what part they you damage the Vonzer affects its play its maneuverability on the battlefield. So if you destroy its legs, it has limited, basically one step to move. Whereas when it has legs undamaged, it can move several squares across the battlefield, right? If you damage the
Okay.
legs, one square every time. You damage an arm, of course it loses a weapon. You damage the head, I do believe that counts as a kill, or they cannot target properly. So guaranteed miss every time they retaliate if you destroy the head.
Wait, the
Body on
pilots
the
are in the
hand,
torso of the mech, aren't they?
yeah. I think there was something. I think the head was a no. Actually, no. I take that back. It was body, arm, left arm, right arm, and leg. So yeah, if you talk the body, that was an instant kill. Like if you kill the body, that's complete kill.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed that game specifically from Mission 4 for the
Well,
PS2.
well, I'm definitely
You
gonna
want to
have
take over,
to
Matt?
try
Go
and
ahead.
seek out and try and find them because I've not played any of them. Oh, we saw a face. Just out of curiosity, the image or the icon that I've chosen, would that count as you when you're like when you're ranting about something? Because the character in the image is a wolf. Oh, there goes Leia. Yeah, so I may as well explain why I've chosen this particular image. It may not, obviously it doesn't necessarily look like something from a mech anime, but that's because it's from the Transformers comics, and it's the character of Fangry, who is a headmaster, which is essentially a small little, well, in American media, it's a normal human being who's been modified and then combines with the actual larger robot to then sort of pilot them, but not really because both the Transformer themselves and the headmaster are both like in control. So the headmasters do kind of count as mech, kind of. Well, obviously they lean more on Super Robot because the robot is sentient, and in some cases has superpowers. Obviously, in Japan,
I'll
over in
check
the
on Leia
Japanese.
real quick.
Oh, okay.
She might have had a trouble on her. Oh, she's back.
Sorry about
Welcome back.
that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Something. I heard something is funky with StreamYard this evening, so because
So
I
we'll have to
checked
keep
my,
an eye out on that one then.
yeah, something is funky is going on. As far as I'm sure my Wi-Fi and everything is working, but other people I heard were having similar problems.
Leia, are you a Transformers fan?
I've seen the movies. As far as a fan, I have to honestly say no, and I don't mean that because they're I don't like them or anything. It's just they're not really my passion. But I
Yeah.
did see the first movie, and so don't if you're a Transformers fan, Matthew, I think you're one. It's got nothing to do anything personal. It's I have to be really honest. I don't really have a big passion for it, but I do remember the
Yeah.
cartoon. And I did see the first movie, and I liked the first movie, but I can't. I have to be very honest. A lot of the rest of them I have not seen. I mean, I've seen,
You
but
have spared
I
yourself the
followed.
headache.
Oh, well, okay.
Well,
The
they're
first
not
one,
gonna count on this stream at all because they're sentient robots anyways. Well,
Yeah.
go
the first
ahead
one,
and
Well, as I was going to explain, the over in Japan, the headmasters and the power masters and a couple other robots, they do kind of lean more into the mech anime genre because the actual like small little like the small little headmaster or the power master or the Brainmaster, if you're counting Star Saber, they are all like the actual Transformers character, and then the bigger robot is just a lifeless body that they are using to like survive in a hostile environment. So it kind of leans more in a mech kind of direction. And also, some of the headmasters and powermasters actually have superpowers. Like one Lightfoot has control over water, and the four headmasters can combine and shoot like powerful lasers.
The
So,
oh, go ahead. You continue.
I know, what were you going to say?
No, no, no. I was going to say that yeah, the mythology of Transformers, I don't think I know very well. The first movie that came out, I actually liked because I thought it was something different, and I thought it was kind of well made and fun. So I like, yeah, but then after that, I figured I don't think where else could they go from here. I think it would have been better. I'm going to be honest. It would have been better to turn it maybe into a streaming show than to constantly make sequels. I think it would Transformers would better
Yeah.
as episodic than motion picture. So maybe that's what they should have done, is maybe made them into a stream, just like the way the cartoon was back in the day.
Yeah.
Maybe they would have been better if they wanted to keep the franchise going to make it into maybe more of a stream. That's a good idea for a streaming show. I would say, yeah, that would work better.
Yeah. I mean, there have been plenty of Transformers shows like before and since the movies. My problem with the movies is they're literally just the same thing over and over again, and I'm pretty sure that's probably the reason why they slowly lost money over time.
Well, they kept switching. They kept retreading the MacGuffin storylines instead of just continuing the whole story. One moment it's all about the Allspark, another moment it's the Sun Destroying Machine, another moment it's the Space Bridge, and another moment it's the Seed, and then you're telling me it's Cybertron trying to merge with
trying to
Unicron,
absorb the life out of Earth, who is actually Unicron, because for some reason someone thought copying the Prime cartoon was their best option, but except ignoring everything good about the Prime cartoon.
That broke me.
Yeah. I don't mind the whole Unicron as Earth, but I have like a specific reason why, and that's because Unicron's whole origin from the comics is that he's a psionic being, and he recreated, or he was trapped in an asteroid, and then he recreated that into his body from the cartoon. So I don't mind him being Earth, because he's still a psionic being, and there's still the threat of him potentially like emerging from the Earth.
I just don't like it. Just the fact that
my personal preference is him being being a separate thing from the Earth.
Yeah, I was hoping that was going to be him traveling across the stars towards Earth, like just as pieces of Cybertron. I would prefer he would have been the fragmented Cybertron, but
it
it's
also
like
makes no sense because Cybertron was turned into a black hole at the end of the third movie, was it?
Oh yeah,
I don't remember specifically. All the movies just sort of blur into one in my memory.
Well, the Space Bridge pretty much fragmented one part of Cybertron because it was in the process of being teleported toward near Earth. Let's ignore the gravitational aspects of that, shall we?
Yeah, which the cartoon did pay attention to. Although that was because that was the entire reason for transporting Cybertron to Earth in the cartoon.
Yeah, the thing is that, like I said, when it came down to it, like anything after that, I'm just saying, anything after that, they're gonna completely ignore that. They're gonna completely retcon Unicron at its Earth in the next movie. Whenever they bring out this next movie, because they're still talking about another movie being made, and it's gonna be
it's in production. It's been in production for like 7 months now. It was meant to come out this year, but it was delayed to next year instead.
Yeah, and it's dealing with this the Maximals, which I'm not looking forward to that because I don't want to see Beast Wars being ruined now.
I mean, the newest movie isn't connected to the Bane films because Bumblebee was a reboot, They kind of went
But
back
it's
and forth on it's a reboot, prequel, reboot, prequel. Then they eventually decide, no, it's a reboot. I don't know if this next movie is going to be a
yeah,
sequel
I
to
was hoping it'd be
Bumblebee
that
or if it's going
because
to be like just separate or another separate thing.
well, the question is who is directing it still?
Not Michael Bay. That's
It
what I
better be
think.
Josh Knight because Josh Knight did a good job with Bumblebee. I just rewatched that movie and it's still really
Uh,
good.
Actually, I don't
But
think it
we're
is
getting off
him. I think it's
track.
someone else.
Yeah, but we're getting off track. Let's get back into
Yeah,
super
yeah,
robots and real robots.
yeah. I can bring it.
Let's get to Voltron since we've been talking too much about real robots. Let's get back to super robots, Voltron.
Yeah,
And I don't want to feel I don't want to leave Leia to catch up, try to keep up with us. So
yeah.
Leia, let's Leia lead off with this one, Voltron. Your impressions, your best moments with Voltron. Go ahead, explain.
Okay, well, I watched the Voltron show back in the day. The first, if my memory serves me correctly, anime like version of Voltron, and I thought it was a fun show. I like the idea of the how they would. This is the Voltron that had like the princess that flew the blue lion, and then the other characters that I just can't think of. You forgive me, I can't remember everybody's names right
I will
now.
tell you right now. Red Black Lion was Keith. Red Lion was Lance. Blue Lion originally was Vin, and then later Allura.
Hmm.
Green Lion was Pidge. Uh, uh, Greenie's favorite, by the way. Green Lion girl. Duh.
Oh. Mhm.
Yellow Lion is Hunk.
Okay, thank you for that. And I basically did like the show. I enjoyed it. I like again. I like the idea of the how they would form this giant robot to fight all the other Robo Beast. I think they were called that
Robies. Yeah.
Robies. Yeah, that were created by the king and his evil witch. And I like the idea of the princess that took up the fact that she wanted to fly that blue lion, that she wasn't just and I have to point this out because there are those on the Twitter page that think there's never been strong females, so let me give them a little history right there, that Princess Allura was a princess and leader of her people, but she also flew. I like the fact that she said, well, I'm going to fly that blue lion as well, you know so
And the reason why she did that was because Vin died. She
yeah.
did it to honor him and to step up to the plate because without Blue Line they cannot form Voltron. She knows the gravity of not being able to form Voltron. The lines themselves on their own are just as powerful on their own, but their weakness is the fact that if they cannot form Voltron, they cannot defeat Aerobes by themselves or separate. They have to form Voltron because Voltron is the defender of the universe. And once they form Voltron, Voltron is at his strongest. So that's why she stepped into the Blue Lion seat because they needed to form Voltron.
Thanks for telling me what happened to Vin because I forgot what happened to him. I think I came into the show after his death, and then when she stepped up to form Voltron, and I I liked it. I watched it
Oh
every time
crap!
it
Didn't
came
mean to do
on.
that. Sorry, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, he can still listen, and I like the idea of the. I take the concept, like you said, they cannot fight if they don't come together to form Voltron. So I always saw that as a metaphor for working as a team or coming together. Separate, they cannot win, but together they can. So I always took that as a little message in there about when you solving a problem, how we have to work together. We have to work together in order to fight the evil. Even though they're all different color lions as well. So even back in the day, I read that without that being in
What's
in
funny
the face.
about those lions that they supposed to represent an element too, when you look at where they're located at.
Yeah,
Ne-
yeah.
Never once do they always have one element. Both lions can fire the exact same element. In the case of red lion and green lion, they both can fire flamethrowers. Blue lion not necessarily shoot water. All the lions can shoot water. It's almost like he has powers as the plot needed at times, but the arsenal is still set there. Like they still have the same missiles, they still have the same laser beams, they still have the same flamethrowers and what have you, and of course the trusty the blazing sword, of course.
Yes. Hmm. When they were called to action, didn't they come out of, when you said elements? Like I said, I'm foggy. I haven't seen the show in a long time, but
They did.
they came out of different elements. Like the blue line came, didn't she come out the water, and then one
Yep.
came out the ground, the earth, and
Uh,
I forgot where the others came out. One was the ground, one was from the earth. Uh,
so
uh,
I'll clarify.
yeah.
Green line will come out of a large tree stump.
Mm-hmm.
Blue line will come out of a cave underneath the water. Red line will come from the lava. Yellow line will come from I believe a pyramid in this version when it came down to the earth. And black line was a statue, and the statue would break its shell off, and that's where black line would essentially gargles itself out and start flying.
And the black lion was transformed into the head, correct?
Yep, head
Okay.
and torso.
Yeah, it was the upper part of that. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that very much. And like I said, I'm you got to forgive me for not remembering everything, but I can remember it. I haven't seen it. Well,
Now
and I know
here's
there's been
something that
different.
will make your here's something that'll shock you. We had an American sequel to that show.
Yeah, I was just about to ask about that.
It was called The Third Dimension. It was done in primitive CGI at the time.
Mm-hmm.
This was right after reboot was a thing.
Right. I didn't watch.
And go ahead.
No, no, I'll let you finish. I was gonna say I didn't watch that one that much because I didn't feel it lived up to the original one. What did you think? Did you watch that?
I was a kid, so I was eating it up.
Okay,
I
that's
was
all right.
eating it up cause man, it was Voltron. You know, you got it in 3D now, and then later on in the second season they introduced Stealth Voltron. Yes, Stealth Voltron, which was basically a new power grade that was used to fight off a new enemy, a new Robies that they couldn't defeat, and they hardly ever used it, but still, and they even introduced an evil Voltron called Dragon Voltron, which they still end up killing anyways. Like it was powerful, but it was not as powerful as the original. And
No.
like I think what happened was I think what happened was that's when they introduced Stealth Voltron. That's where they defeated Dragon Voltron. They even introduced the concept of retiring or at least replacing the Voltron Force because they're too reckless and wild. Like a lot of people, like the concept of the people turning against the humans was an interesting concept that they introduced in this series. Like you even had a reformed Zarkon in the order of peaceful system. I don't know what I forgot what they're called. Matthew, help me out here.
Where you, I've not actually seen Voltron in a long time, so I don't quite remember myself.
Damn.
Sorry about that. Oh, if you had hinted that the Voltron was being discussion, I would have been able to dug up some stuff to contribute more to the Voltron discussion. I wish I could go
I'm
into it.
sure when in doubt, Wikipedia.
Okay. Yeah.
I have it on hand anyways. Let me get right to it right now so I can look it up. I know it's called the United or the Alliance or something like that.
There were many follow-ups or reboots to try to reboot it, but I didn't get into. I saw a few of them, but you
They
see,
only had
they didn't leave an
they only
impression on me.
had one reboot. Voltron Force was definitely a pseudo sequel to this whole series. If you're okay with Voltron Force, I wasn't. the only thing I liked about Voltron Force was the fact that you can switch the lines around to for them to use different weapons and stuff like that. But I didn't like the idea of them. The idea of them training new recruits to replace the existing Voltron Force. Hey, Final. By the
Hi,
way, the
Final.
Warrior of Light, Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Hello, Final.
The
Is it-
Warrior of Light, Final Fantasy Fan 12. Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Okay, I didn't know what was happening there. Sorry, my audio stopped for a moment.
Yeah, StreamYard's been a little wonky this evening.
See,
Yeah, I checked.
see,
Yeah, I
it
checked.
always works when I do Final Fantasy Fan 12. Everybody, the Warrior of Light.
Okay, even though we're only 45 minutes in the video, but anyway.
Negro, it's never too late to introduce one of my wingmen. Jump through this freaking screen and kick you in your butt, man. Gonna mess up your entrance like that. Already you got mic problems, and then you had another question me to give you your announcement. Hey, my respects to you. This is how you do me. This is how you repay me. You're demoted.
That-
Not kidding.
That's quite foreboding or something.
Dang it, I'm trying to go through a stream where I don't have to get all bad boss on you guys. Oh, that's right. Tim Curry did voice
If you're
Zarkon
going, if you're going bad boss, I'm going to change back to the other icon that's more fitting.
Oh wow, I just evil laughed.
Yeah, he goes back to that Joker laugh.
Actually, that's more of a Tim Curry laugh. No, wait, shit. I'm too tired to do a straight up Tim Curry laugh right now. Oh man, there's a long list of Voltron shows.
Well, you can go through them, but like I said, I have not really gotten to anything. I've seen them, but you can tell I didn't really get into them because I can't remember them. I remember the original Voltron, but everything that followed that just didn't live up to it. So I lost interest in it. But since you were a kid and you were enjoying all of those, you might have more to say than I. But the original one was the
Hang
one
on.
that I enjoyed the most.
Let's hear this jot your memory. From days of long ago, from uncharted regions of the universe, comes a legend. The legend of Voltron, defender of the universe. A mighty robot loved by good, feared by evil. As Voltron's legend grew, peace settled across the galaxy. On planet Earth, a galaxy alliance was formed. Together with the good planets of the solar system, they maintained peace throughout the universe until a new horrible menace threatened the galaxy. Voltron was needed once more. This is a story of the super force of space explorers, specially trained and sent by the Alliance to bring back Voltron. Voltron, defender of the universe. Yeah, they always end off with that techno voice at the end. I always mimic that one. Voltron, defender of the universe.
Needs more
Gives me goosebumps
Optimus
every time I hear
Prime in it.
Did I?
No, I said needs a bit more Optimus Prime sounding in that.
From days of long ago, from uncharted regions of the. Dang it! I'm too tired to do the Optimus voice now. Wait, hang on. Check. From the time life began, there was the cube. Oh, no, that's raspy. It's too raspy. Even Matthew can know I'm BSing my way through this one. Okay, hang on. I think I got this. Give me one more chance, guys. One more chance.
Okay.
One more truth. Give me. Hey! Give me a drink real quick.
Wow. Okay, take your time. Just one.
That
Take
was
the
a
second
go.
one if you need
That was
it.
a go.
Okay.
All right. Motivation. Transformers, robots in disguise. Roll out. Okay, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. Hang on. Roll out. Was that close enough, Matthew?
Yeah, that was definitely that was definitely closer.
From days of long ago, from uncharted regions of the universe, comes a legend. The legend of Voltron. Defender. Wait, no, I can't, guys. I don't have the energy. I was doing good, wasn't I?
Yes, you did.
You
So we
were.
understand. Yeah, we understand.
Were? Oh, okay, that's confidence
Oh
there.
my god. You did good for what you could do, Wolf. We understand. We understand. It's been a long day
Screw
for
it.
you. So. But if
Screw
you
it. I'll
want,
do a Mufasa voice.
okay.
From days of long ago, from uncharted. Wait, that's Lawrence Fishburne again. I get my voice mixed up. I'm not gonna take too much of the stream. Let's move on.
Yeah, because like here we are in this stream just talking about a synopsis of a Voltron story where we're discussing other robots and mechs.
I mean, we're still on super. I mean, I would say one of the best super robots I've ever seen was Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go.
Oh yeah, I think I remember seeing some of that show.
Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go.
I do also remember playing a web browser game of that.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if there were any others, but I remember playing one of them.
Yeah, that show was freaking. Ugh. Where do I even begin with that? I mean, aside from freaking Mark Hamill voicing one of the most heinous villains I've ever known, the Skull King. Was it Skull King?
Yeah, I don't remember
Oh,
it. It's
crickets, huh?
literally been decades since I
I
watched the
don't
show.
remember it. I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with it. I have to be honest. I'm sorry, Wolf.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, neither am I.
Final, you disappoint me. You disappoint me. Because I fear you be the one to know about this show too. Disgraceful. Make a note of that, Cricky. It's all on you. It's all on your cow. It's all on your femp.
Oh, great. Now he's quoting Mushu.
Should I not?
Well, maybe it's because you think maybe we don't remember because maybe they just either they died out or they just didn't make as, maybe they ran good for a while and they just didn't make them as good.
Well, the truth is it was on Jetix, and Jetix was starting to phase out at that time too, before they
Yeah.
became Disney XD. So they only lasted for
Yeah.
4 seasons.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
if definitely do check out Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go, because that show is a love letter to a lot of tokusatsu and tezuka anime, from the Super Robot being a stand-in for Gigantor and Voltron and Power Rangers. Shiro is obviously well, the main character Shiro. He's a mixture of Cyborg 009 with a bit of Astro Boy and what else? Sentai, mostly Sentai characters. The monkeys, their design is so they're a different style that kind of clashes with Shiro's design, but they work really well with each other. They even had a pseudo Fantastic Four, or in this case Fantastic 3, that kind of like mirrored Battle for the Planets. But what the novelty about Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go was the fact that it had robot on kaiju battles.
I remember Battle of the Planets. I used to watch that too.
Or Gatchaman, if you guys really want to be that fancy.
I do that one. I do remember. I used to watch Battle of the Planets all the time.
Maybe
I
one of
really
these days
liked
we'll
it.
talk about Sentai. That'll probably
Yeah,
be a
because
next.
if we're talking robots, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just immediately
I
gonna
was gonna
think.
say Power
What
Rangers
the?
and Sentai definitely.
Oh, sorry. I
Yeah.
thought I heard an echo of my audio, but no, it's just Kaon talking. I was like, wait, what the hell? Yeah, it's mostly Power Rangers and Sentai that I mostly think when talking robots. I mean, Kamen Rider's been doing that too since a little bit of since Kamen Rider Zeo actually. Though they rarely ever use them really.
I'm gonna give some more ground for Leia. You wanted to talk about another mech, another super robot. That's my wife
Okay. Oh.
coughing in the background,
Oh, I thought she sneezed.
and
Bless her. Mhm.
yeah, she's okay.
Oh,
And
okay.
you wanted to talk about King of the Braves, Gao Gai Gar.
Is me? Is I'm going first or
Yeah, you're the one who shared it in the
Oh.
private chat.
No, I said that.
Oh yeah. Oh well, then Matt, go ahead and lead
yeah,
on.
yeah, I'm the one that, and I'm, I'm sure that's definitely an opening that you would probably end up start singing. 'Cause that one is like pure, like that one is purely the kind of anime opening that
Gai
you
Gai
like.
Gai Gai Gai
Made me jump.
You're not going to do the
Just
whole
kidding.
thing. Do you not want YouTube to strike the stream or something?
They're really going to do another Transformers movie. I can't believe it. I thought the other one bombed, the one with Mark Wahlberg. So they're going to actually do another one.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
wow.
one. I mean, it did. Oh, in terms of like money, it did like millions, but it did like comparatively less than the first one from 2007. But because the Bumblebee movie did okay, and also that one was a reboot, and most people liked that one over the other Bane movies. So I think Hasbro's kind of feeling that they're actually in a little safer waters now to try and do something else.
All right, we'll see. What other storyline could they possibly come up with? Transformers in Egypt? What else could they really do?
I thought they were doing Beast Wars next for some reason.
Yes, something not exactly Beast Wars, but the Beast Wars characters are involved. Some of them are involved, like Optimus Primal, who's going to be voiced by Ron Perlman, which is actually the second time that he'll voice the character. But considering Wolfie used the whole me posting the Gal Gaigar opening in the chat and confusing that for Leia somehow. The
Gai 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 Gao. Sorry, that
have you been
opener
singing that
was
to
very.
yourself in the background?
Well, I had to mute myself because I don't want you guys catching me like humming to a thing right now. I was actually indulging while you guys were talking.
That is a really great anime opening, though.
Now I need to watch it. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome. It's actually funny because
You had me with Ryan, Sentai looking dude in armor running, trying to outrun a bullet train like Superman.
Yeah, actually, Gal Gaigar
And
is
little
actually the
kids popped up
7th in the
somehow.
Brave series. It's the
And then
7th
little kids
anime.
showing like, okay, what?
Yeah, there's a bunch of other animes in the Brave series because they're made by Sunrise, and they're
Okay.
based on a Takara toy line. Oh, and also there are repainted Transformers in the line as well, because
Oh,
Takara
wow.
couldn't find something to do with them, so they were like, "Hey, let's just repaint some Transformers and put them in."
Let's move on to let's move back to real robots real quick, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Would you like to talk about your specific real robot?
robot jocks. Let's get into America real quick. Let's get off of Japan's dick for a while and get on America's dick for a while. I know I can be a crude wolf. That's the wolf talking sometimes. Yeah, I'm blaming him. His influence is on me. Don't put me in this one. Remember, we share the same body, but not the same mind.
Venom?
No, that was the wolf.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you
It almost sounded like Darkseid in the Super Friends cartoon.
Where is Wonder Woman? I have wedding plans for her. Tell me where Wonder Woman is. That's also my Candyman voice. Be my victim.
I don't remember Candyman being having that deep a voice.
Dude,
Oh.
you talking about Tony Todd, man.
No, I mean I know Tony Todd has a deep voice, but I don't remember Candyman having that quite deep a voice.
You don't know my name. Now, if I really want to do my Venom voice, Eddie. Eddie, we are drunk. We are leaving. Pay the man and leave Eddie right now. Was that close enough, or y'all just stunned?
That's
No,
that's
that was
actually pretty. That's actually pretty
The way they
close.
see
yes,
it,
yes.
we could do whatever we want. Do we have a
We
deal?
can do whatever we want.
That's a good one, Final.
Lungs,
Thank you.
hearts, intestines, pancreases, so many muscles. Oh shoot, my voice caved out.
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
can only hold it for as long as I could.
That's okay. They're both very good. Yours and Final threw his in there. I that's a good one.
You will not come by this door ever again and threaten this woman. You will leave. If not, we'll eat your arms, your legs, and save your head last. You'll be the armless, legless thing, like a turd in the wind. Chase my mind. Now let's bite off their heads. No! And now jump. Pussy. Back at my home, I am something what you call a loser. I prefer his old voice in the first movie than his second voice. Sounds more. His second voice is more like a Power Rangers monster voice. Don't you think? Don't y'all agree?
I
Let's get
did
back to
not think it would
robots.
even sound like that. I thought they
I
kept the
did.
same voice or something.
I haven't actually heard the second voice that he does in the second film.
It's
I've
totally
only seen
different
the
than
first one, so I
film.
don't. Is the second film even worth watching?
Not
No.
really.
Is
The
Carnage
girl.
completely unredeemable, irredeemable?
He's irredeemable in the right way, but there's a lot of shit you gotta go through to get to that part.
Okay,
Like the
because that's
whole
one of
fact
the
that the girlfriend.
defining characteristics of Carnage is that he just does not care and is just run
Yeah,
through the
he's a
streets and kill
psychopath.
people. Yeah. And then when he loses the symbiote, he'll paint himself red and continue.
Well, the thing is, you gotta get through him not getting with his girlfriend again. Then again, actually, he dodged the bullet. The bitch wanted to abort her child anyways to save her career. I'm not kidding. That is
Yeah,
the actress that stood up on stage and declared that women should get abortions to save their own careers and focus career first. On
Jesus,
stage at a war show.
Jesus. I mean, when I saw the trailer, I thought they were going to go in the direction of like Maximum Carnage. You know, have the whole
Oh yeah,
gang,
they had,
Shriek,
yeah, they had,
Doppelganger, and
yeah,
Demo Goblin, like the whole group.
yeah. Only they had Shriek and Carnage only
Wait, isn't that what the
as
isn't that
a
like
Bonnie
their
and Clyde
character?
stand-in.
Okay, so you don't classify it as actual Shriek. You just classify it as like a cheap imitation.
No, she was fine. She still had her sound powers. The thing is that they made them a couple. And last time I checked, I don't remember Shriek and Cletus being a couple.
I think it might have been a one-sided relationship, kind of Joker Harley Quinn esque.
Well, we're getting off topic. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, we've also lost
As we always do
Leia.
in these shows. She'll be back. Like it's like
Ah,
like she mentioned, StreamYard's getting weird. StreamYard, you keep fucking up. I'm gonna move to Streamlabs. Really doing a bad job convincing me to stay otherwise. I ain't for that bad relationship bullshit.
yeah.
Anyways, what was I talking about? I was talking about Robot Jacks, right?
Yeah, you're going into more American mechs.
Yeah. I wish we still continue that shit too. I mean,
Yeah, all
we
we
get
got is Robot Jocks and then 2 Pacific Rim movies.
Robot Wars.
Well, speaking of robots, I hope this doesn't throw off on the topic. I thought I'd get in there before the stream. StreamYard has been it's been real funky tonight. It's been acting up a lot. So it doesn't I don't know if anybody's is in, but my end it's been but other people too. I was in other streams and they were having the same issue. But when I was younger, I was a little girl, and even now as an adult, I actually have it on home video. I used to watch a show called I don't know if the show counts, but the show was called and another reason is I've been trying to put the link to the show here in StreamYard, and maybe that's one reason why it's going out because I can't get the link going. But I'll try to put it in MeWe.
What's
I
the
used
show?
to the show was called Johnny Sacco and his Flying Robot. And if
Looking
you're
that up.
yes, you look it up, Johnny Sacco and his Flying Robot. And
You piqued
as
my interest.
I do have it on I do have a Blu-ray copy of the episodes. And I watched it as a little kid. It was distributed. It was from
What's it called again?
Japan or Tokyo. Johnny Sacco.
Johnny Sacco.
Mm-hmm. And his Flying Robot. Yeah, I was
How you
trying to
spell
put the
Sacco?
link YouTube. I think it's Socko. I believe Sacco. I think
I
that's
found it. I found it.
okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Pyramid Guy.
I thought he looked like a samurai. The robot looked like a samurai, but if you want to call him Pyramid Guy, that's okay.
I'm just saying the hairdo make him look like a walking pyramid. That's all I'm saying.
That's okay. That's okay.
You
I'm
know
fine
what?
with
Since we're
that.
talking about this shit, I might as well pop up some pictures so you guys know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yes.
I
Most of
should
you
have had
remember.
this all prepared. But I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. Keep going, Leia.
No, go ahead. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do for the last. Maybe this is why it's popping out on me because I've been trying to link pictures and YouTube clips. I think YouTube have some of the shows on there. If I can't get them in the stream, I'll pop it over in MeWe if you want to take a look at it, Wolf. But anyway, as a little girl, I watched it fanatically, and I know this because even today, as a grown woman, I still have all the shows on Blu-ray. The show was basically the gist of it. This was a young boy named Johnny Sacco who controlled this giant robot.
I think you're
The
pronouncing
robot.
his name wrong though.
Am I
Or
pronouncing it wrong? If I
maybe
have,
maybe
I've been doing it a long time. What is the correct pronunciation for it? I
I
always
think
thought it
you
was Sacco.
I think you're probably saying it right. I think you probably are
Oh,
saying it right. I was thinking Soko, but I think it probably is
oh,
Sako.
oh. Well, it's for Japan. So I just went by what the TV announcer would always say. And
Mm.
every day I got home from school, it would run in the afternoon and I would never miss it. And the gist of the show was a boy named Johnny. Johnny controlled the name Giant Robot. Giant Robot did not have a name. It was simply called Giant Robot. The robot would only obey Johnny's voice. And he controlled the robot by his wristwatch. He needed the robot to help him out of situations. He would open up the watch. The watch had a hatch with his voice on it and all the commands that he could use to control the robot. So when he was in trouble, yes, there it is right there it is right there. Yes, that was the show that I watched. It originally aired in the 1960s, but they started rerunning it when I was a kid, and I loved it. Again, for all the people out there that need to believe that you have to have somebody look like you or be your gender to like a show, because even though Johnny was a boy, I still like the concept that he could control the rescue anytime that he needed him. And he controlled the robot by his wristwatch. So if the robot ever needed his help, Johnny would call for him. Robot usually fought alien monsters and creatures that came down from other planets. They were up against and I can't think of their name right now, but they fought against evil space aliens. I forgot the name of the team. Me something. He was an alien.
Is she coming through on you guys in?
Uh, yeah.
No, she started roboting and then just went silent.
So I wasn't the only one. Leia, you might want to refresh your screen because you cut out. Or drop out, drop back in. If you can hear me.
This is sort of
This is the most awkward stream we had today. Lots of dead air, huh?
Yeah.
like here we are. We're supposed to be talking about Max, and yet now suddenly everyone's it just goes dead silent.
I think I'm the
Maybe because you
only
guys heard
one
my
who
wife.
hasn't like disconnected or had some kind of behind the scenes
Same here.
problems.
Oh, well, Final's still here.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still here.
Rhett mentioned Mazinger Z. Anybody's familiar with Mazinger Z?
Uh,
I
never
have
heard of that before,
I have a
but
basic
I
knowledge
actually
of
do have
Mazinger.
a a figure kit, like the toy kits that you have like several pieces, then you put it together and suddenly you make a possible figure. I have that of the main mech of Mazinger Z. It's based on Mazinger Z Infinity, which came out back in
Nico, stop,
2017.
stop, stop lording over us with your fancy talk.
Sheesh.
Mazinger Z. Bro, you trying to be proper. Forgot what you came from. Not kidding. Keep going, Final.
Anyways, I just said, yeah, I just basically said everything I'm about to say. But oh yeah, I got this because my dad found it at his work. There are actually two box sets that I built. One I built for myself, so then I kept it that way. The other was actually from his work. Then I
Let me
put
stop
that
you real
together.
quick. Real quick. Leia, can you speak? Can we hear you?
Yes, can you hear me?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear
Oh,
you.
okay. Sorry about that
Uh,
again.
bef- before you continue, I'm gonna
Go
let
ahead.
Final finish his statement. Go ahead, Final.
Okay, no problem.
Anyway, so yeah, the other box set that my dad had for Mazinger Z was for someone at his work. So then I put that together for someone, and then he took it to his work.
That's it.
Yes.
That's all you wanted to say.
Yes.
Okay. Finish what you were saying about Johnny Boy, Leia. And by the way, final that's actually really good that your dad got you that or you said he took it with him.
Oh yeah, it was there at his work. He thought I actually might like it, even though not necessarily even familiar with the series in general, but he thought it basically looked cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. Goes to show that even regular people can like anime without knowing it's anime. But go wait, we just lost Leia. She got black bad guys.
Again? Yeah.
I had to.
I know
I
you
had.
did.
That's Mazinger Z, by the way, for the people in the back.
Yeah, this is the classic one.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about a little bit more about Robot Jocks, shall we? Are you guys familiar with the movies, by the way?
No.
Wait, there's more than one movie?
Yeah.
I have
And
only ever heard of Robot
well,
Jocks.
technically, there's three.
Okay,
Technically, there's three.
this I need
But
to know.
so there's Robot Jocks. There's also Robot Wars, and then there's a third one that's technically a post-apocalypse world that's supposedly taking place in Robot Jocks, but it's not really. And I kind of forgot the name of it. It had I think Brad Dorff was in it at one point, and it was yeah, it's supposed to be taking place in the world of Robot Jocks. But yeah, there was three. There's technically one sequel and one loose sequel, but we'll be focused on the other two, which is Robot
Oh, hey,
Jocks and
Barbara
Robot
Crampton's in
Wars.
the second one. Well, that's all the convincing I need to watch it.
Oh yeah,
Have you not seen any of the other movies that Barbara Crampton has been in?
no,
She was in Reanimator.
I didn't watch Reanimator. Not that I didn't
Ah,
want to watch it, just didn't never got
uh,
around to watching it. I know a lot of people talk about Reanimator a lot, and I still need to get off my ass and watch that.
yeah,
Same
pretty.
thing with Eraserhead
Yeah,
and Videodrome
she was also in From Beyond as well.
and Neuromancer. All the shows that all the movies that people keep talking about that I still need to watch. I ain't getting no younger either.
Yeah,
But other than that, like yeah, I'm gonna pull up two pictures because Robot Jocks is basically the foundation. Uh, Robot Jocks is the movie that built Bouncers off of the premise of it, which is in the year after World War III, there are now they're n- like they're champions that are using mechs to fight each other to take over territory and resources all over the planet. And the case in the current match, Russia has taken about 99% of the U.S. and the only free state that could challenge Russia is Alaska.
this
Oh
wouldn't
yeah,
happen to be an '80s thing, would it?
yes. So far, the opponents are Achilles and oh my god, I forgot the other guy's name. How I forget the other guy's name? When in doubt, IMDb. Give me a second,
Sorry,
guys. We're
fellas,
talking
that I
about
bowed out.
robots.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Sorry, I couldn't finish the Johnny Sackles talk, but you basically get the gist of what the show was about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Lots
yeah.
lots of those shows, much like Johnny Sacco, were of that caliber. You know, that was like a big thing in Japan when it came down to superheroes. At some point,
Mhm.
they come with a giant robot.
It worked for me. I liked giant robots when I was a kid. I was into science fiction a lot as well as fantasy. So, I had Star Wars and anything with robots and machines and androids and cyborgs and aliens and that so forth. I watched, but I love the idea that
Can
Johnny
I
could
get her
control the
talking, or can
robot.
I get her talking?
Well, I better get it in there since it keeps hiccuping tonight. This StreamYard, so I better get the comments in before I have to
So the gist of
disappear.
is the pilots Alexander and the main villain, the main rival, I mean, and Achilles. Achilles piloting this robot. I don't think it has a name. I don't think any of them have a name. Just the name of the pilots. And then his opponent is this thing. Now, technically, it didn't have four legs in the beginning of the movie. It has two, but then they upgraded to four. Now, these are some really good renditions of those robots. I like it. But
Reminds me a lot of the Metal Gear Sahelanthropus in Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, kind of.
so what's interesting about Robot Jocks, it it had a trouble production, to say the least, but it still became something very epic in the long run because it had two opposing views on writers, two writers that had different views on what they were gonna do with the movie. One wanted to make it serious, one wanted to make it lighthearted and all that jazz. So there were moments where there was some dark stuff happening, and there were some moments where some silly stuff was happening. Not necessarily complete silly stuff, but like when it came down to all the drama going, the drama was really selling it. The fighters are treated as champions, gladiators and whatnot. They have the setup, which is you fight basically you fight matches, and you get to control what the resources or what land you get to control. And so far, Achilles has been on a winning streak. Trouble is that um you also have to watch out for spies who will spy on pilots and engineering, sometimes sabotaging machines to win in their favor, for the other side to win in their favor. So you have to be very mindful of that in that type of thing. Okay, Leia, I got your message. Um, but what was cool about this one was the puppeteering, stop motion mostly, and a few robotic puppeteering, even race RC puppeteering too, which later on Achilles morphs his robot into a tank and roll off. But the thing is that its action was actually pretty good. But like I said, what sells it was the drama, the fact that in the first match, lots of casualties were numbered once Achilles' robot falls on a stadium full of people, and that's where he announces his retirement. This enrages Alexander because Alexander has always wanted to fight and kill Achilles because Achilles has never been defeated. You remember he's on winning streak. Um, the thing is, the match is left undecided because Alexander knocked Achilles into the crowd, which earned him a disqualification almost, or at least a illegal move on their part, which left the match undecided. However, since then, while he's on retirement, they have been training genetically modified humans or tank bred humans, meaning they're human in every aspect, but they're super strong, super durable, and all that stuff. So the one trained to be the next pilot is Athena, who is a sort of hero worship. She idolizes Achilles. But what makes them unique about these guys is how childishly naive the way how the actor sells their youthfulness despite their age, or at least their appearance and age. They really sell at how childlike they can be. There's a moment where in they're visiting a club, right, and having drinks, and this one boy outright challenges Alexander. This is supposed to be a superior human being, gets bested by a Russian because of course because of course a Russian can best a modified human, right? Long story short, though, second match happens, but on account of Achilles saving Athena from her defeat at the hands of Alexander. Yeah, that's right, Red. It in the end, it also this movie also brought the company to the film company that it produced to bankruptcy because of how expensive it was, and it didn't make back its money like it was supposed to. But I still love it. I still hope, like, if you guys want to check it out because it holds a special place in my heart. Robot Wars, on the other hand, this one's about a luxury ship, or at least a luxury hotel on top of a war mech. That scorpion tank, by the way, is that thing, and it gets hijacked by some terrorists, and we gotta follow a Han Solo lookalike throughout the whole movie, and it all boils down to him piloting that big fuck all mech on two legs at the end, while saving the hotel off the scorpion. So I ain't gonna say too much about that one. Just that's what that movie's about. Yeah, if we forego the whole robot jocks thing for more of a heist anti heist movie, like a Die Hard movie, if you will. Check it out if you want to. It's fun, but is it fun like is it fun like robot jocks though? Right? Are you guys just waiting for me to finish, or y'all just listening intrigued?
We're just listening.
I'm
Just
listening
listening to
I'm
you tell
listening
the
in
story.
intrigue. I don't know about everyone else.
I
Have
am
I
not.
sold you at least?
Oh yeah, you've sold me on watching them. Didn't you say there was a third one that's kind of a
We will not
sequel?
talk about it because like I said, it's loosely connected to it, and it's not really about giant. I don't. Well, it is, but I'm not. I'm trying to look for it right now. Actually, I'm actually trying to look for it because at some point you get a giant T-Rex, robot T-Rex fighting something or whatever. And I can't for like I said, I can't for the life of me remember what the name was. I remember James Rolfe covering it, or was it Brendan Tenold that covered it at one point? One of those guys
I don't remember
or film.
Brendan Tenold. I don't remember him talking about anything Robot Jocks related,
I think he did. I think he did. You got to
unless it was
scroll
a
through
while ago.
yeah, you got to. Well, what I'm saying is you're going to have to scroll through a lot of his video catalog to get to it. I guess I could have sworn. What was it called though? I'm on IMDb, so it should lead me to.
Yeah, I suppose if you go to Robot Jocks
Oh,
or
it's called
Robot
Crash and
Wars,
Burn. I remember it. It's called Crash and Burn.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. There we go. Crash and Burn. The well that's well for context. That's what Robot Jocks will say to each other. Crash and burn. Crash and burn. Like I'm ready to do my part, and all that stuff, or I'll be back. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. Well, they do have a giant robot in it, but I think it's done. It's taking again. I think it's taking place in a post-apocalypse movie where they're hiding from sentient robots or whatever. And then somehow they end up in a giant robot fight.
So vaguely Terminator-esque.
Yeah, Bailey Terminator S and somehow giant robot, giant T Rex. Not a real life T Rex, a giant robot T Rex. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it just to give you guys a bit more clarity. But yeah, that one is one you probably will have to avoid because it has nothing to do. It technically has nothing to do with robots. Robot jocks. I mean, but y'all guys ready to talk about Pacific Rim now?
Yep.
Have you guys seen Pacific Rim?
Yes,
Yes,
I've
I've
seen
heard
I,
of it.
I've
Pacific Rim,
seen it. I've seen it.
and I've mostly seen the sequel. I haven't seen the whole thing, but
Mostly.
I've seen it bits and pieces. Like I remember seeing like the end of the film and like a few scenes earlier in
Man,
the
don't even get
film.
me started on that sequel.
Yeah, I watched a
I know it
couple
has
of
the Gundam
bits and pieces,
unicorn
but I
in
never
it.
finished it.
I was actually rewriting that sequel in my head as I was watching it, but I was actually pretty thrilled at what I was seeing as opposed to action, even though the action could have been improved. But let's get into the first movie though. So the premise, we all know the premise, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Giant robots versus giant kaiju in America, made in America, made by an Italian no less. My goodness, man. My goodness. Where do I even begin? Like, freaking Guillermo del Toro gave it his all with this movie. Like, like
Yeah, this
really
movie
gave it
wears
his
its
all.
influences.
I mean, the details that he went into, the painstaking details, like from the weight, he emphasized on weight, nothing but weight with the robots, and those who are Pacific Rim fan were very thankful for him to implement that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because so far what we had as far as robots concerned was Transformers at the time, and I
yeah.
think before Pacific Rim we had Real Steel, right?
Uh, yeah. Real Steel was 2011. Do you remember what year this film came out? Because I don't quite remember. I think it was what 2013, 2014, I think.
Somewhere, I don't quite remember the release date for the film.
I've heard multiple people refer to this film as Power Rangers for adults.
Yeah, I I heard somebody say that as well. Yeah, Power Rangers for adults. I think Guillermo del Toro was inspired
Real Steel was
by
first. It was in 2011. Pacific Rim came out in
yeah.
2013. They had all kind of
Oh, I was
goofy
right.
ass nicknames
Mhm.
I still don't
like
get
Power
why the
Rangers. Power
Chinese
Rangers.
three-armed mech has 3 pilots, even though that's not
Uh,
how the psychic works. It's really weird.
the neural handshake, that as they call it. Yeah. Well, I technically have an explanation for that, considering the fact that they're triplets. I think they get. I
Yeah.
think that's the reason why they gave that extra arm for it, because they're all three of them are drift compatible. So that's why they
Yeah.
added that extra arm. Originally, originally Crimson Typhoon had only 2 arms, one big one, one small, one regular size in its original concept. But as far as the nicknames concerned, we had Evangelion American version, and yeah, like you said, Power Rangers adult version. You also had I'm like, every time I heard this shit, I'm like, you guys are fucking stupid. It's fucking Robot Jocks versus Giant Kaiju. Oh, my bad.
No, I
He's
thought you.
Mexican. I thought he was Italian. The reason why I thought he was Italian because he directed an Italian movie, or at least I thought Pan's Labyrinth was Italian. It's Greek to me.
What, the director?
I thought it was freaking Italian.
No, he's Mexican. He's Spanish.
It says it in his
Spanish, I
fucking
think.
name. I can't believe I fucking missed that.
Yeah, and even if you hear him in interviews with talks, there's an accent, so you can kind of hear that he's
My
from
mind
that
went
country.
to Italian, maybe because he looked like Geppetto. People like to say freaking George R. Martin. Fuck that. Nah, he's Geppetto.
Somebody said George R. Martin.
Nah, he's fuck. Nah. Del Toro looks like fucking Geppetto. He and funny enough that I mentioned that he's making a Pinocchio movie.
Is he making Is that the live action? Another live action one from Disney? Is he directing that?
No,
Okay.
He's not directing a Disney movie. Fuck that. He
Yeah.
ain't associated with Disney. But
Okay. Good.
it is popping up on Netflix. But I'm actually interested to see it. I still need to see his Nightmare Alley too. Just a sidetrack a bit.
Okay.
I still need to watch Nightmare Alley
Oh,
because I did love Shape of Water. Yes, I love that movie. Fuck y'all. Don't judge
that's
me.
okay. I'm not going to judge you. I did see it, but
I
I
ain't
did
talking about
not.
y'all. I'm talking about the people in the
Oh.
back.
I did see it, but I did not feel it should have been Best Picture. I'm sorry,
Right.
Wolf. I don't think it
No,
deserved the Best Picture
no.
Oscar.
Nah, there was more stuff that was more deserving. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should have won best visuals though.
Yes, the visuals were beautiful. I will admit that.
Or at
I
least
will admit that.
best special effects, or at least wherever you give to special effects makeup for Doug
Makeup,
Jones's character.
yeah, makeup and special effects. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Or best
visuals.
romance. Yes, a romance between a woman and fish man made me think best romance. Better romance than any other romance drama that came out around that time. Because those dramas sucked.
Yeah, they did.
I
They
mean,
did.
I think at the time we still had that third 50 Shades movie to contend with.
Yeah, I think so. I can't quite remember, but probably so.
It's for the best that you don't remember.
Yeah.
But other than that, Pacific Rim. Any you guys want to contribute to this? Because I could talk all day about this shit.
Well, I did not go to the theater to see it. I have to be honest.
I wish I had.
I saw it
Yeah, I
on
didn't see it in
I
theaters
did.
either.
I did not go to the theater to see it. I have to be honest. I wasn't that interested in it. I saw it
Neither was I.
Sorry, Wolf. Neither were we
That
were.
don't make me take off my belt.
I'm sorry. Sorry. I didn't want to say anything because you love
Did
it so
not
much.
tell
I
you to
don't want
go to the movies to watch Pacific Rim. We need a win for Hollywood. Damn it. We need a sequel.
Did you like the sequel?
Wait, I thought there already was one.
There is. We need a better fucking sequel. Technically, we did.
Oh.
Technically, we did in the form of an anime called
I thought there was a live action sequel. What's his
Pacific
name?
Rim: The Black.
Was that what
Which
it was called?
No, Pacific Uprising was the live action sequel.
Yeah, what's
It
Yeah.
was
his
the one that
name?
was more in line with standard mech anime.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's actually one of the things I like about Pacific Rim is it doesn't go like full mech anime. It goes more influenced by them.
Yeah.
The second
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, but that one just went full
I
mech
want me to
anime.
get the bad out the way real quick.
Yeah.
Let's start with Uprising. What the one thing that was wrong with Uprising was the fucking collateral damage they were causing. Yeah, you could bag on the first movie for having collateral damage, but dude, they took this shit to 11 with reckless abandon. At least in the first movie, that was you could say that cannot be helped. You know, the
Yeah, giant
kaiju are
robots
going to run.
in a popular era, things are gonna be destroyed.
No shit, but what I'm saying
Like
is
whether or not
the
the pilots
kaiju.
actually try and prevent that as much as they can.
It's like if I'm in a Jaeger right now, you think I'm gonna be worrying about watching my step every damn 5 seconds when a kaiju is whooping my ass, me and my partner's asses? What the fuck you want me to do? Fucking lock my knees up a bit? I mean, damn it, the motherfucker swinging on me. He's swinging on me hard too. You like you gonna build a fucking big ass safety rope or some shit like we in a fucking ring? I'd like to see you try. How much money you gonna need for that? Get him out of that corner. Get him out of that corner. I can't. He keep swinging hard. Try to move. We got Mr. T
Wait,
kaiju.
would the
Get your
ropes
ass back
even
over there.
support the weight of like a mech?
I'm saying I hate when people bag on collateral damage. Like, bitch, what the fuck? Then what the fuck you call a fucking street fight then? Or people brawling for no reason in a bar. Collateral damage is gonna happen, and yet superheroes and fucking giant mess get the fucking shit end of the deal. You gonna tell that shit to people who fight in the streets and shit. Dumbasses. Think everybody has control of their fucking movements and momentum. That's right, Fizz. I mean, we can still bag on Man of Steel a bit because Zack Snyder forgot about Superman saving people while he's fighting the villain. Okay.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I didn't like
Same
Yeah,
thing
it,
what
it,
we did with
it
One of the
ended up
Batman.
looking
reasons,
more
yeah.
like Zack Snyder's
Right.
glorifying the violence rather than focusing on the hero part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what his influence was?
Go
Birdie.
on.
No. What?
Birdie the
No.
Mighty.
Who?
Birdie the Mighty.
Oh.
It was an anime that he watched not too long ago where they had this big fuck all clash.
Oh yeah,
Granted,
that's where the battle between Superman and Zod in that movie came from.
yeah, basically, the difference between here's the thing where Zach fucked up at. The fight in Birdie was in an empty city. You had the battle frame in a populated city. These two don't mix. These two things are totally different, Zach.
At
What's up
least in
with
the
that?
Green Lantern movie, he
Yeah.
actually tried
Much as you
moving
can,
Parallax
don't
away
even
from
try
the
backing
city.
yourself in a corner with that. Even with that empty city battle with Doomsday and Batman v Superman.
Zack
We can go,
Snyder
we can
should
go
not.
on and on about that. Let's move on.
Okay.
Here's
I
the
just
thing
have
about Uprising though. First of all, the worst sin they ever committed was killed the main character, the main actress in the first movie, make Mako in the dumbest way possible. Then they shoehorn in China bitch, and I didn't even care for her ass. Oh yeah, they killed off a Japanese woman and replaced her with this side. See, you know what? If there was ever a sign that China was trying to take over our market, this was it. This was it right here. You know. But I digress. They killed her off. John Boyega is an illegitimate son that popped in out of nowhere. That's supposed to be a son of Idris Elba's character in the first movie. Why ain't mention your son, man? I mean, why?
I mean, aside from the inappropriate part of like bringing up family stuff in a work-related area, apart from that, I can't think of any reason why he wouldn't bring that up or at least mention it,
Well,
or
they
maybe
had a
have some
flimsy
photos
back.
of his son in his office or something like that.
Well, here's the thing. They had a flimsy backstory for him. Like he flunked out of the academy. Um, his dad paid more attention to Mako, and he became a runaway. I'm like, that's it. I rather I'd rather he not be an illegitimate son. I'd rather he be a new recruit. He just don't. The thing is, Boyega's character does not fit to be the son of Stacker Pendercast. You know what I'm saying? They gave him a lame first name too, Jake Pendercast. I think he should have been another Raleigh, a bit reckless, but more reckless than Raleigh. Raleigh is more responsible. You know, and if you don't know who that is, that's the main character in the first movie, Charlie Hunnam's character.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'd be more him, but like more reckless. That's why they kicked him out because last time he was in the Jaeger, he almost one he got well this is my rewrite. One he almost got his partner killed. Two, he leveled a building that killed a lot of people, and that haunts him day by day. That's how we're written him, but whatever.
yeah.
Um, they introduced a lot of concepts, but they dropped them, and I wish they would have went with my idea, which is Jaeger on Jaeger fight. You basically killed the Rift, right? You killed the
Yeah.
precursors and all the kaiju. Now what's left? Jaeger fight, Jaeger on Jaeger combat. Now the war is over, but now we turn to fighting each other. Or in this case, I'll borrow from Robot Jocks. Gladiatorial fights, Jaeger on Jaeger, Robot Wars, basically.
Yeah.
And what I mean by Robot Wars, I mean that show where you built your own robot and you fight with somebody else's
Oh yeah, I
backyard
remember
robot.
Robert Wars.
Yeah, something like that. Something of that nature.
Wait, that would wait was Robot Wars a British show, or is it more of a case of there being a British version of that show?
I think it was worldwide, so that you might have gotten a British version of it, and we got an American version of it. Like
Yeah,
like
because I remember like British like TV personalities being the hosts when it was on.
mhm. What I'm saying is it's like a same situation with America's Got Talent.
Okay, yeah,
Like
we've got Britain's Got Talent.
yeah, I think it was like a worldwide thing. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I missed that show though. But that's how I would have rewritten Pacific Rim 2. Maybe I'll probably end up having a kaiju come back at some point, but that's not a here or there.
Yeah.
Um, but one thing was a turnoff for me at some point in the film. Freaking John Boyega's character, you got a kaiju run towards him, right? His idea is to fucking throw buildings on him. Mind you, they're
Oh yeah, because
empty
they're using
buildings.
those like weird weapons. I think one of them has like a
The
big gravity
graviton beam.
beam thing that like collects up pieces of buildings and then you throw it.
Yeah, it's basically manipulates gravity anyways. Even you can even use it as a shotgun, a
I
pulse
suppose a
shotgun.
gravity gun from Half-Life, I suppose.
Yeah, but like he's using that to tether the buildings and just toppling on the kaiju trying to stop it from charging. I'm like, uh, You know who's got to rebuild that, right? Then you got one that leaps off a building and kicks a kaiju. You got another Jaeger that does a roundhouse kick. I'm like, you know, when I look at these things and the way how they operate, a roundhouse kick will be the last thing I would want to do piloting this thing because
Yeah.
you do not want to be on your ass when a kaiju is attacking, considering how fast a kaiju moves. So I would rather go boxing fisticuffs with a kaiju, much less using martial arts.
Yeah. I think there's one missed
Especially-
opportunity with the sequel that near
Mhm.
the end where multiple of the kaijus kind of merge into one even bigger kaiju. That
Yeah,
was a
through the
missed
use of the
opportunity for
technology.
the Jaegers to do a similar thing where they combine into an even bigger Jaeger. It's not
I'm
a Power Ranger stuff,
conflicted by that.
or it's something kind of like that.
I'm a bit for them to. I'm a bit conflicted if they did that. It's like, okay, that's stretching it. Because then look. Imagine the neural handshake they had to do for that shit. I mean, it worked well with the Power Rangers 2017. Where all five of them are not necessarily neurally linked, but they're like neurally linked to the machine, to their
Yeah,
Zords, and they basically move with controls. Which thank goodness 2017 still kept that weight going on too for their movie. They were not jumping off buildings and flipping over kaiju, or at the very least flipping
yeah,
over Goldar in that movie. Thank goodness for that. May not like the designs of both the Megazord and Goldar, but I did like that fight. The slow movement and the weight momentum.
yeah.
Loved it.
I mean, I thought it was cool that Gold was made of like a large amount of gold, but that did kind of bug me that he had no like monkey features whatsoever. It's just purely gold.
Just faceless even. Did you
Yeah.
guys watch 2017 Power Rangers? Leia in the final?
Yes.
No, I did
Yes.
not.
I can tell by your voice that you enjoyed that movie.
I actually really like that movie. Only downside
I
though, there is no
mhm,
sequel. Totally
yeah,
missed opportunity. I would love to see this movie's version of Tommy Oliver, and yet they showed his jacket with the dragon imprint on his jacket, and it's why?
you know, if they made him a woman, I wouldn't be mad either.
Okay, I'm curious.
I'd be
Why
conf-
won't you be mad by
I
that?
was I was side eyeing a bit, but I'll probably if they can handle a female Green Ranger really well, you know, I'd be all for it. Because
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because like
mean,
wasn't Rita in that movie like the female Green Ranger when she turned into a traitor?
hmm
Right.
I didn't mind that idea too of her being once a ranger, even though she's supposed to be a witch.
I mean, at least it explains how she got the Green Ranger's powers. I don't actually remember if the show gave an explanation as to how she has the Ranger's powers to then give it to Tommy.
Not a complete explanation either. But I'm pretty
Mm.
sure it's well more constructed in the Sentai version.
It is.
You would know. You would know. I'm not teasing you. I'm just
I know.
I'm actually complimenting you.
Thank you.
But
But
other than
I've
that,
been a
like,
Sentai. Yeah, I've
go
been a
ahead.
Sentai fan since I just watched Lupin Ranger vs. Pot Ranger.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually the first show where two teams are actually in one season. Usually there'd be a versus movie with a crossover, but yeah, that
I'm
yeah
assuming
the
this is a
first
season that has not been adapted into Power Rangers.
not yet because currently they're still doing Ryu Soldier, which is I think was it Dino Fury. I almost called it Dino
hmm
Knights. And I think the next one like to think it might be Kira Major if they want to do that. Like maybe if they want to do any of the recent Sentai. I doubt they will ever do Zenkaiger.
I find it annoying that the Sentai's on DVD, like DVD releases of the Sentai, has stopped at Hurricanea, I believe is the one that became Ninja Storm. For
Yeah.
some reason, after that one, I can't find any DVDs of any of the other Sentais after that
Can
one.
I get them talking, or can I get them talking?
I mean, I thought they stopped
Technically,
doing that
Sentai and
since
Power Rangers counts for the topic.
hold
True.
on, when were they? Let's see, Kingamon, Time Ranger. I thought they stopped doing that since like Gal Ranger or some sorts.
What, releasing DVDs of the Sentais?
Yeah, when Shot Factory was doing that.
I don't know. When I look up for the DVDs of the Sentais, the latest one that I'm finding is Hurricanea,
Mm.
and I'm not finding any after that one, and I don't know why.
Yeah, probably because they've been dealing with the copyright issues from Toei, probably.
I can imagine.
I mean, they did do Freezer Ranger Sentai seasons to DVD, and they did 2 of them as far as I can recall. Specifically, Jetman and Five Man.
You're
Okay, back to
muffling.
yeah, you are. But let's get back to Pacific Rim, the first movie, the good. That is one of the reasons why I picked that thumbnail. That scene where the guy is trying out, testing out the neural network to move that hand. That always gives me goosebumps. Always.
Oh yeah, where they're explaining why it's 2 pilots and like how
Hmm.
the technology developed.
So to fight monsters, we had to build monsters. Jaegers. We can win. Suddenly, we can fight the hurricane. God,
Am I
that
the only one that
opening.
finds it weird that at the beginning of the film where they give her the screen shows like Jaeger and kaiju and it has a little description of what the word means in the specific language.
Yeah.
And the only one who finds it weird that technically the kaiju in this movie aren't necessarily kaiju, but they're dai kaiju. Because kaiju literally just means
Hmm.
Japanese sea monster, and dai kaiju means giant
Yeah.
Japanese sea
Well,
monster. And these things are giant, so
well,
shouldn't they
to
be
be
dai kaiju?
fair,
I think it's a
well,
simplification
to
for the
be
audience's
fair,
sake.
well, yeah, but to be fair, they do come out of the ocean.
No, I mean that's not
Technically,
necessarily the point I'm making. Dai kaiju
I know.
still it means coming out of the ocean, but like a normal kaiju is like a giant squid, and then a dai kaiju would be like Godzilla or Gamma or something like that,
Hmm.
like something that's city sized.
Maybe you know what? That's probably what we're gonna do. Actually, I said I was gonna do a chill stream next Tuesday, but I think it's high time we should. How are you on next Tuesday, Matthew?
Yeah, I'm good for next Tuesday.
Let's do a kaiju stream next Tuesday. We'll have Schooner on this time. Yeah, I said I was gonna do a chill stream, but like, you know what? Now you got me ecstatic to do a kaiju talk. What about you, Leia?
I am not familiar with kaiju, so I'm afraid I
You know
can't
about
guarantee.
Godzilla? That counts.
Yeah, I know about Godzilla. That's true. If that's
You
what you're
did
going to
watch the
cover.
MonsterVerse, if I recall.
Yes, I did. I do. I have seen all the Godzilla movies, Godzilla Jr. and all the monsters.
That
I
still
am familiar
counts.
with that.
That counts. And you've seen King Kong. That counts.
Yes, I didn't know that counted as kaiju. They're just monsters.
He's the progenitor, but Godzilla is like the granddaddy of Daikaiju.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Remember, Godzilla was going to be a squid at one time.
You're right.
What caused Honda to change him to a reptilian?
I
What's
don't
the
know what you're
reason?
talking about.
Yeah, I don't
He
I don't know.
originally he originally wanted him to be a squid, but he ultimately decided to change him into a reptile. I forgot what was the reason. I
Yeah,
keep
I
forgetting what
don't
was the
know the
reason.
reason.
Finally, this is where you should throw in the trivia. I'm
But
sorry,
I
that's a
don't know
bad
much
name.
about giant monsters.
Yeah. Like I said,
What if I were? I probably would if I didn't spend so much of my time with Sentai or even on Final Fantasy.
You're perfect where you are, buddy. Trust me, because we will get we might get back. I might do a Power Ranger stream again with you guys.
Oh, really?
Because
Which one?
all of them, if we
Oh,
can, in at least like 2 or 3 hour amount of time.
I thought you were like talking about like a specific Power Ranger season, like or like working through the entire Power Ranger series.
Okay, we can do it in
Or
parts.
or are we gonna like all come here and just talk about our specific favorite season?
Well, no. Here's what I would do. I'll break it down in parts for you guys. We'll do the Zordon era, then we do the Disney era, and then we do the Neo Saban era, and then the Hasbro era, which is current.
Isn't there only like 2 or 3 seasons for the Hasbro era right now?
Yes, but doesn't mean we can't stop. We can't talk about them.
I mean, technically, two, if you count like 2 seasons as basically like one whole season, because like Beast Morphers was a whole season of Go Busters, and then Dino Fury was a whole season for a Ryu Soldier.
Mind you, I have to watch these shows again, specifically Dino Fury. I'm not gonna watch Mega Force. I need to save my sanity. And freaking
Yeah.
Samurai just disturbed me.
Yeah, it's basically beat for beat. It's basically Shinkenger all over again.
Well, no,
But with
not even
Americans instead of Japanese people.
yeah, but not only that,
Except
it's
they're
just
in
the fact.
Japanese lifestyles for some reason, which makes no sense.
Yeah, what disturbed me is the fact that they're punny. A monster bled at one point. I'm like, what is this tone with this show? And then you got a dark backstory for Uramasa and Dekar and Dayu. You
Yeah,
know,
they basically. Yeah, it's because they just like try to take everything from the Sentai that it's based on, and yet they just try failing at that.
and I could not stand Jaden. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, the dude's white as fuck.
Dude has that shitting grin I like to punch out of his mouth.
And all the other Rangers worship him. Well, they don't literally worship him, but like that's the kind of tone and
What are you
vibe you
doing here,
get.
Piss? So we start talking about Power Rangers, you want to jump in?
Yeah, the moment we get start getting off topic.
Well, we're gonna be wrapping up anyway, so
No.
I mean, we could talk more about this stuff. We'll probably do a part 2 for you, Matthew, and hopefully we'll stay on target. Hopefully we'll talk about the things that you want to talk about again. I'm sorry that we went off the rails on that one.
And yeah, I just want to bring up stuff. You talk about kaiju, so let me jump in now. Kaiju
We ain't
story.
talking about Kaiju until next Tuesday, fool.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Hold
talking
your
about robots and mechs.
Okay.
hold your horses until next Tuesday, but say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. I mean, I was in the chat, so
Yeah, the Georgia Pit Bull graced us because he heard Kaiju, 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 Kaiju.
no, not talking
We
about
lit the Godzilla
not
signal in the sky.
Not talking about the Godzilla remake in the in the the Godzilla remake. I'm talking about the original 2000 Fathoms and Below the Sea, the one with the dinosaur.
Beast of the 20,000 Fathoms.
Beast 20,000 Fathoms, exactly. That came out before Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that movie was an influence on the creation of Godzilla.
Yeah, I
Well,
think
the movie, not the character.
Yeah, I guess that probably was the reason why Ishiro Honda changed him to a reptile because he saw a beast for 20,000 fathoms and
Yeah,
said,
it was
"I
a
want him to be a
combination of
lizard."
Beast of 20,000 Fathoms and King Kong.
Mm-hmm. Those were his influences, but yeah, Jaden. I remember I put a tweet one time talking about Power Rangers, right? I said, for every Power Rangers season, no matter who it was, I always latched on to the Red Ranger You know, almost every Red Ranger I will immediately latch on because I like leadership roles and stories. And I put in the picture section, right? Except for these assholes, which was Jaden, the Red Ranger in Megaforce. I forgot his fucking name.
Troy.
Uh, Troy. And who was the other hated who was another hated Power Rangers leader? I can't.
Uh,
Do you mean
I,
the Operation Overdrive Red Ranger? Is that
yeah,
the
that
one you're?
no
Mac.
no. Actually, people mentioned Mac. I was like, no, Mac. Actually, you know what? Mac gets a pass. Mac Mac doesn't have a shitting. The thing is, Mac doesn't have a punchable face like Jaden and Troy do. I think it was only
He's still a
just Jaden.
terrible character, though. He
Yeah,
did
he's
have a
terrible.
good arc.
He had a nice art, but he was a terrible character and a semi decent leader. But like compared to Jaden and Troy, he got off easy. Like,
So wait, are you talking about like at least the Neo Saban era Power Rangers seasons for Red Rangers?
mhm.
Okay,
I think it was just those two I could not stand at all. Like I
yeah,
think
no one could.
like again when it came down to Mac, the thing is with Mac, he has the same regrets because their whole team sucked. So he you know he had a bad team behind him anyway. So I can give him a pass.
Yeah,
Plus he
good arc, but certainly not Akashi from Bokenger. He's a Boken Red.
yeah. So like when it came down to Mac, he's got this childlike innocence that I adore. He's adorable. Like, I can't. It's like you know what your show sucked. But I can't bring myself to hate you. Jane on the other hand, motherfucker, meet me in the damn ring, and leave your sword out of this shit. And see how good your ass is without that sword. You seen the stroke it a lot. Oh right, I put Nick in there too because he gives up too damn much. Nick from Ninja, no,
Mystic Force.
Mystic Force, yeah.
Yeah, he
And
starts
Carter
off the
Grayson
same
has
level
Balls of
as
Steel.
yeah.
Yep.
Nick, the only leader in the Sentai, the leader who doesn't believe in magic. Despite that, he's basically meant to be okay. He's not really Kai in Maji Ranger. Keep bringing up Sentai.
yeah. Stop stroking your Sentai cock for a minute. Talk about the damn Power Ranger
I've
show.
actually seen some of Magi Ranger. I think it's like the first 5 episodes though.
Is it better than its Ranger counterpart?
Certainly.
I mean, I can't
Almost
really
like
give an
Power Ranger
accurate
to
comparison
Turbo.
because I enjoy both. Like I have got enjoyment out of out of Mystic Force, and I have enjoyed what I saw of Magi Ranger. So I
No,
don't
no,
know if I
cool.
would be a
I'm not
good
gonna judge you.
good option to tell you whether or not it's better.
Yeah, I'm not gonna judge you. I know there's a lot of people that do like Mystic Force.
I would have
I just thought,
preferred a slightly different opening for Mystic Force though.
you know what's funny? Ron Wasserman did had a original opener for that one.
Oh yeah, before they switched to a very, very hip hop opening because they wanted to do a rap opening for Power Rangers. I
Oh,
mean, they
they
certainly
did
had
in
that for
Overdrive.
yeah, certainly they did for Overdrive, and it
The
was
first one was
shit.
The first one was R&B. This one was more. The second one was definitely full on rap.
It sounded a bit more hip hop, to be honest.
They were all hip hop, but I'm saying specifically, one was rap, one was basically R&B hip hop. All right, now it's time to turn off. Like, oh God, shut up.
I don't think the opening actually starts like that. I think it kind of starts sounding like other Power Rangers openings, and then goes into like the the more hip hop R&B esque.
Okay, you making me want. You made me do this, Matthew. Give me a sec. Leia, are you still with us?
I'm here, but I was about to say maybe at this point I should bow out and let you enjoy the rest of the evening. I don't think there's too
Oh
much
no
I
no
can contribute.
no no no. We're done with the topic. We're just having fun right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, just wrapped up talking about robots, and now we're talking about Power Rangers,
Terrible
the Super
openers.
Sentai.
Yeah.
Well, it's wonderful that
I mean,
may be. I'm afraid I don't have too much Power Ranger
I mean,
knowledge.
they technically do fall into the whole real robot. It's more of a case of some Sentais have more real robots, and then other Sentais go more super robot.
Obviously, Power Rangers Super Robot.
No, I mean it
Yeah.
varies. Like Lightspeed
It-
Rescue and SPD, they go more real robot because the mech in question, they're not sentient, they're not special, they're just robots. And then something like Wild Force, the Megazords are actually sentient beings.
Mhm.
And also,
Wow, Force Power Rangers will fight. We'll protect this world together.
I think the difference is based on what the specific like theme of the season is. Like something like Wild Force, where it's nature versus not necessarily technology, but like the Rangers are very like nature based in terms of their powers and like where they stand.
Guardians of the Earth.
Yeah, something like the original Mighty Morphin goes more for a magic versus technology, and then I think
Yeah, I have to
one of the
scratch Cole
seasons
for his.
swaps it and they go technology versus magic.
Speaking of Cole, I have to scratch his name off the list now of Power Rangers leaders because you know what happened with the real life actor, right?
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
what happened with that real factor?
He murdered somebody with a samurai sword, a roommate.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay then.
Wow, no wonder why he was casted to play as Juzo and Samurai, even though he's Decker.
Brett asks, was there ever a debate here in what robot would you rather pilot or have a novelty? I want a Valkyrie. Plain and simple. We didn't even get a chance to talk about Robotech. But I want a Valkyrie.
Yeah, and I've changed my icon to G1 Jetfire,
Nice.
who I'm sure you recognize what kind of toy it is.
Oh yeah. He's a Veritech.
Yeah. You know, fun fact: this toy, you know, the Macross itself was the mech designs were done by Shoji Kawamori.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he actually before he did the designs for Macross, he did the designs for Diaclone, which would later turn into Transformers. And when he did Macross, he also designed the Valkyrie. So I find it funny that two of his designs are in the same show, but because of the two different companies and all kind of the legal headaches, kind of means that they can't properly be connected, which I do find funny because it's like
Oh yeah.
also because of those legal headaches, Hasbro has actually made most of their Transformers, giving them like the option to put them in like kind of a Macross style Gerwalk mode.
Oh yeah.
It's basically Hasbro just giving the middle finger to Harmony Gold, essentially.
Nice. That explains why in later Transformers they go into vehicle mode with guns.
Yeah,
The movies, I mean.
yeah. I mean, like this Earthrise Starscream next to me, you can literally half transform it so it's jet mode, but with the legs still in robot mode. So you can literally put Starscream in like a Gerwalk mode.
For the people in the back, that's when the jet has his legs, his thrusters as legs, like turkey legs, and his arms out, but still have the full top part of the jet intact.
Yeah. I think in some instances the arms are still like in robot mode as well, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which mostly serves as reconnaissance and retrieval in that mode, I believe.
Actually, I might be able to get Starscream into a Gerwalk mode with his arms still out.
Yeah, I think in that mode you're mostly using that for reconnaissance and retrieval when you have to pick up somebody and what have you.
Wait, wasn't there a Macross style jet in Sonic X? Because I distinctly remember the Sonic X cartoon having like a jet, but it had robot legs and robot arms.
That's when they were doing the Sonic Heroes bit, because it did pop up at Sonic Heroes, and you were right. There was a Macross jet, and it could convert into a big fuck all cannon laser. Well, it gets to a mode that fires a big fuck all laser. Used to hate fighting those things, because the reason why is like there were times when I was getting to one part of the level, they were in that form, and they would fire immediately at me, and I'd be like, "Fuck you, dude." Especially when you're trying to keep your rings and still keep your speed momentum, they would just come at you, just pew. I'm like, "Fuck off, dude." 3D era Sonic games, amazing. Okay, here's the lyrics. Y'all ready?
Yep.
All right, let's go. It's time to turn it on. Set the record straight. We're coming to right the wrong. Fight evil Power Rangers standing strong. We're go. Shit.
You're doing fine.
Yeah, I lost momentum because my brain read ahead of my damn mouth again. Let me see. Is this the wrong wrestling version? Because there is the wrong wrestling version, which sounds awesome. Let me see if I can find it. No, I'm not looking for fuck, what the fuck? What they were saying?
I just read on CBR. I just read the headline. Apparently,
Why are you reading comic book resources?
I didn't. It popped up in my feed on Google. Of course, as usual.
Okay. Why
Apparently,
you're saying it?
apparently, Disney is trying to reboot Daredevil, but how could what can you do? Like, what can they do? There's nothing more to do.
Are they reboot the show
Yes, the
Daredevil
show.
with Charlie Cox?
Yes.
Well,
What could you do? There's nothing else to do. What you gonna have? What you gonna do next? What you gonna do next? Have a Daredevil fight? What's his name? Stilt Man. That's the only thing left.
Well,
I mean, he
they
has
want.
the
I know they
properly
want to bring
got
him into the
bullseye.
MCU. So yeah,
Or at least we haven't
and
got like bullseye in his proper costume.
right, I
Right.
agree. There's no need to do an origin story. They don't need to go backwards. Everybody has seen this show. They know who this guy is. They just need to move forward. I think
know
he should be in the world of Spider-Man, personally.
but like here's the thing. Like what can they do? Don't like I said. The only thing left to do was have him fight Stilt Man. That's it.
Well, like Final said, we never got a proper bullseye, so it'd be great to we get a bullseye in there. But the
No,
only thing
I'm the one that said
I heard they already did
bullseye.
that in season 3.
Oh, good. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well,
Matthew, you said that.
Yeah, talking about new storyline. What can new storyline can we do with Daredevil? Nothing.
I give
Nothing.
you Gerwalk, Starscream.
I mean, they can't. They can't do the. I mean, they can't do the. They can't do the. Well, they can't do. Okay, they can't do the Purple Children storyline because, well, they're not gonna be purple anyways. What's the point?
it right now.
But they're all Daredevil.
We can talk about this another time.
Okay.
In fact, we can do a chill stream on Thursday. You can rant and rave about Jessica Jones all you want.
Not talking about Jessica
words.
Jones. I'm not talking about Jessica
I
Jones.
don't care. Rant and rave on the chill stream on Thursday, man.
I'm talking about Daredevil.
Rant and rave on the chill stream on Thursday, man.
Okay.
Say what the fuck you want. You hear me? You quote me. This is why I said you say what the fuck you want. I will have no objections. You say what the fuck you want.
Okay.
Not right now.
Okay. Good.
By the way, I think we should just start wrapping up right now.
Yes, I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
think that's a good idea. Yeah, it's getting late, and I'm afraid there's nothing more I contribute to your great conversation.
That's fine. You
Yeah,
did
we can talk Power Rangers and Sentai all we want, but maybe another time.
Let me see if I can get the audio in, or if you guys can hear it this way, because I'm gonna play the original Power Rangers Mystic Force intended for Mystic Force, and y'all can tell me if y'all can hear it through my headphones. I'm gonna bleed my fucking ears for you guys.
Hopefully, we don't get copyright strike from it.
Fuck them.
Eh.
Did y'all hear it on my headphones?
A bit.
Yeah,
I heard
I
some
can
of
kind of
it.
hear it.
It was faint, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, it started
Yeah.
started loud and then it went faint and went much quieter.
Yeah. At least you got a little taste of it.
Like, a bit better than the original opening of Mystic Force, but yeah, it still couldn't even top off Monty Ranger's opening.
All I'm saying is it got me fucking hyped when I first heard it. Thank you, Linkara, with your history of Power Rangers Mystic Force. When he plays the original, I was like, why could we have gotten this? I probably would have tolerated this show more if it was just this opening. I'll link it in the MeWe group. You guys indulged that one. But anyways, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. Those 5 of you and those other non-existent motherfuckers that keep hovering over my shit. I'd like to thank the chat for indulging us. Thank you, Fizz Chozo, for popping in after kaiju. The Georgia Pit Bull, Fizz Chozo, everybody.
Bye bye, everybody.
He'll be here for kaiju next Tuesday. Yes, we're doing kaiju next Tuesday. I'd like to thank the lovely Layla Valor. Don't ever sell yourself short, Leia. You did good today.
Well, thank you, Commander. This is Leia Plus Size, your lovely lady of valor, and I hope you enjoyed the conversation and the fun that we had this evening. If you like what we have done or what you heard, please leave comments below. I'm sure Wolf would love to hear all your comments. If you have suggestions on topics you'd like to hear us to rant and rave about and party about up here, please let us know that as well. But until I see you again, you all have a very good evening and a great weekend.
You know, I'm gonna spare you tonight.
Oh, I was say, spare me what? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. All righty. I knew I that's why I knew there was a reason I paused.
Lie.
And now he does it.
Oh,
Well, that's her getting ready for the
Dang
next
it!
yeah. I love how you said it. Lad, and there it's popping right in front of me. I just
At least I'll let you finish.
okay. Well, all right. I'll give you that. You let me get
Can't you just even do it in peace for one moment?
You let me finish.
So I'm learning. I'm learning.
Okay.
I can teach a wolf new tricks. The Warrior of Light, Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Well, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like what you saw, click like and subscribe and share with your family and friends. And make sure you get notified with the notification bell. That way you get notified of our latest videos. Go subscribe to Wolf 10 Media. Go subscribe to me if you haven't already. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Final Fantasy Fan 12 signing off. And remember, may the light forever shine upon us.
Well, I think he said that. I think he was on to you. He really
Well, I was trying to sync. I was trying to use the gifts to sync up with what he was saying. I think I did a good job.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. He just whizzed. He said, "You're not going to catch me this time."
I mean, he held his concentration really well. I guess he looked away from the screen when he did that.
Oh, he must have did. Maybe that's what it was.
That's a good technique, sir. That's not even illegal either. The fuck is a wait? One of these is a Dirty Pair episode.
I ain't seen Dirty Pair. I ain't seen Dirty Pair yet, though. I got
That's
Check
gonna
that
be
out.
another anime. That's gonna be another anime spotlight in the near future. Trust me.
I'm
I
almost
haven't
done.
seen.
Speaking of anime flash stuff, I've already almost done watching Machiko and Hatchin. So
Okay. Can I move on to the Gladiator Kaon now?
yeah,
Oh
okay.
goodness.
Once again, good to have you again. Once more, the Gladiator Kaon, Matthew Flynn.
Let the Matrix light your darkest hour till all are one. God damn it! I looked at the screen.
Yeah, he does that to me too.
You're not exempt.
You see what he does to me?
Yeah, you know what? I'll do it again. Let the Matrix light your darkest hour till all are one. Bye, guys.
Right at the outro, and then it's High School of the Dead.
Uh, okay.
I'd like to thank everybody for being here as always. Tune in next week when we do the kaiju talk this time around. Hopefully, we have a lot more to say, a lot more to discuss. Talk about the novelties, the stories, what have you. Do uh, gonna make a quick adjustment on our plans right now. I'm probably gonna move up the spotlights a bit more so we can get more into topical talks. There's some topical stuff that I really want us to cover pretty soon, guys. We all know it. A lot of shit has happened recently. Can't
Mhm.
wait to talk about it. Especially, definitely gonna be talking some writing topics too as
Okay.
well. Because
Okay.
we've been scarce about that one, and I'm pretty sure people come here mostly to do the topical stuff and mostly do the writing stuff that we like to talk about, the conventional stuff. Don't ask me what it is. I'm pulling out an imaginary hat. Okay, so whatever we talking about, that's what we talking about. And I don't want to hear no. Are we streaming today? Looking at you, Leia. Kidding, kidding.
Well,
Remember
well, I'm
Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't miss my schedule,
all right then. Okay.
except for that one time when my internet went down.
All right.
But once again, gotta remind everybody once again, you are the UN Spacey. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet.